Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go watch a movie with PJ. Lord, and he's always glad you came. You wanna be where you could see our troubles are all the same. You wanna go and watch a movie with PJ.
You guys, I don't know how to even follow this. I usually talk about how concerned I am that Chris is eating something as Satan at the beginning of this, and we were just inundated by Chris Clark as a singing potato. Happy Monday. I'm so confused. Welcome back to the PJ Campbell Network. We are doing watch along number 22 during our quarantine, and tonight we are talking about a movie that I love very, very much, which is Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Oh, hello. Hi, Dipper. It's good to see you. Well, I can't believe that just happened. Evan, are you as shocked as I am?
I don't know how to feel, to be honest. I didn't expect that. Usually he tells us like if there's something about to happen, and little did we know what he was gonna do. We knew that he was a potato last night. He showed his potato-ness off, but I didn't expect the 2 eyeballs. And when he said watch movie with PJ, and you see the fucking mouth move from the potato, today we're gonna bring him in soon. Max said that it was one of his best days of quarantine. I'm pretty sure that was just the cherry on top for him. Man, we'll bring Max in a second, but let's run things down before we talk to the acid-induced Chris and everybody else. So first, we're watching Atlantis tonight, but tomorrow, the 8th episode. Dude, 8 weeks of Famous Last Words. It's fucking nuts.
Like, we're at 10 weeks, I think, now of doing watch-alongs too.
Yeah.
We're crushing it, man.
I'm interviewing Cyrus Cat. He is a big part of the Smash community. I can't wait to tweet it out tomorrow morning, and hopefully that tweet gets some buzz from people not in the film space. So I'm really fucking excited about that. And then Wednesday, it's gonna be here somewhere. The Suddenly soundtracks. We're just gonna pull up this graphic. The 27th Phantom of the Paradise. It's finally happened with Mark Hewitt, Video Drew, and Rachel Silvestrini. Chris Clark, who we're gonna have to bring in, I guess, at some point. He shot that. And I'm really excited because those are it's a very interesting around people. First of all, no, my voice doesn't sound like that unless if my mic starts acting up. And second, I'm not a goddamn potato. Anyways,
man.
And then on Thursday, is there an episode of Something Rotten coming on?
At the moment, no. I'm still trying to get it worked out. We'll figure it out.
So then next Thursday, Front Center Menacing, you can talk a little about your guests and bring in Max too.
I am freaking out. I don't know how much you guys know how, I love Percy Jackson, as Maxwell knows, and the fact that we got the composer of Percy Jackson and The Lightning Thief, the musical, is ridiculous, and I can't believe it's happening. This is all Maxwell doing, by the way. I have no credit for this whatsoever.
Well, something I meant to tell you guys was I think it's really timely considering the announcement of the series too. But Max, welcome. You just saw that, and also the big announcement. How are you feeling?
Okay, first of all, we'll talk a little bit about Robert Kicke, who's going to be our guest on Front Center Mezzanine. He's a super dope young composer. I think he's one of the most talented up-and-coming musical theater writers. The Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical, is fascinating and took a really interesting process to get from where it started to Broadway. So I'm really excited to dive into it. He also wrote a song cycle called Monster Songs, in which classic monsters sing about their feelings. Yep. He loves horror. He's one of us. It's going to be a great interview. That'll be June 4th, 7 Central, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. Now, I've known Chris Clark a while. And when he revealed his potato self to us last night, I was like, aha, his true form. So now to see him as Spudman singing, it all makes so much sense.
I
Because
can't
I don't know
believe
if you've ever seen one of his concerts, Chris Clark, his cover band of Meatloaf and Billy Joel, which is incredible. I feel like for the next one, we need to get him a potato suit.
Let's bring in Mr. Potato Man. Chris, you have a lot to explain for yourself.
I didn't actually. I decided, you know what? I'm going to let this be natural. I recorded that last night after we went off. I did go to bed, but I recorded that before I went to sleep.
Can I just talk about real quick?
Yeah.
Like the running joke of this for the longest time used to be every time before we'd start the watch along and you came on, you'd be eating. Now you've literally become a potato. You have become the thing that you were consuming on camera. I'm so confused.
It's one of the greatest discoveries we found last night was just that whole app. So there's going to be more of that to come on Saturday. But for now, this is going to be fun. No, I love Atlantis.
Talking about Saturday,
Ooh,
Family Game Night, Part 3, Cards Against Humanity. We got a stacked panel. Myself, Chris Clark, PJ Campbell, Rachel Silvestrini, the Smiths, Cara specifically. She's probably gonna be asleep, but you get the idea. and then Max and Liz's first appearance on Family Game Night. Max, you're familiar with the chaos that is Family Game Night.
And our channel in period, apparently.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of the episodes. I'm really excited, especially to play Cards Against Humanity on a team with my wife, who, if possible, has a filthier mind than I do. So it's gonna get a little nasty.
And then, hashtag Potato Man. And then another thing, Ryan Johnson month fucking continues. It ends here. Knives Out, the watch along. It's my favorite Ryan Johnson movie. I know it's a couple of other people's too. I think the film is fucking brilliant. I can't wait just to talk about it with everyone because there's so much that is just there's just so much goes into that movie, especially with the writing. It's mwah.
Yeah.
Evan, eat shit.
Yes, eat shit.
Eat shit.
I said that to someone.
One iota of shit.
Bro, it's so bad. I said that to someone in a work meeting and they didn't get it. And it's funny. It's a work meeting with a bunch of film nerds, and they still didn't get it.
That's disappointing.
It really is. But
you know what's not disappointing?
Jam session. Exactly. Someone who we're about to bring on anyways. Chris Clark and Brooklyn. When is this shindig happening?
So Jam Session actually got uploaded this morning, Monday morning at 7 a.m. But yeah, it's a great music podcast running every other Monday. And if you know Chris Clark, you know that he loves Billy Joel Meatloaf. So if you love Billy Joel Meatloaf and you want to hear us talk about them for about an hour and a half, that's a really good time. Yeah.
I'm a little sad that you didn't get to record it pre-Potato Man. Or post-Potato Man, I should say.
I'm thankful and I am disgraced. I am thankful because I didn't get to see it because the mobile were just like, no, you're fine. The mobile version doesn't want to see this Potato Man thing. But I am disgraced because one, where I live, Prince Edward Island, is the potato capital of Canada. And secondly, I am literally looking at a potato field as we speak. I am surrounded by potatoes. So for Chris to disgrace the vegetable of our province is a crime, and I don't think you will be allowed into the country after this pandemic.
I guess that makes me a dictator.
Could you say it's a crime against humanity?
We're watching Atlantis tonight, but we're just going to spend 3 hours talking about bugs and starches.
I was going to say, man, I'm really glad that everyone's here to watch Atlantis with us tonight. And as you guys can see, our general chaos is already off to a really fantastic start.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor and post that intro as a Twitter clip?
I'll do that.
All right, let's get hashtag Potato Chris trending. Hashtag Potato Chris.
But
I'll post it on Twitter while we're watching it.
I think it's that time. For those who don't know what this is, the PJ Campbell Network Watch-Alongs, we are going to do a movie commentary with you guys tonight. We are obviously doing Atlantis: The Lost Empire, and it is streaming currently on Disney+. So we all have the movie pulled up. If you don't own the film, you are going to be able to pull this movie up and watch along with us. We are all stopped at 0-0. I hope, at least. I hope no one's starting somewhere in the middle of the movie. That would be very confusing.
That would be fun.
But what we're going to do is we're going to count down from 5. As soon as I say go, you're going to hit play, and we're all going to watch this together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Chaos clearly reigns on this channel. Let's do this. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Oh, really quick. I'm going to give you like another 30 seconds so you guys get ready. We do have a Streamlabs account. So if you guys would like to donate, streamlabs.com/PJ Campbell Network/tip. And if it's right there. You don't feel any pressure to. We're all on a budget, so I get it.
And one last thing, just real quick. Oh, or did Chris get rid of it? Never mind. Chris took the thing out. Please subscribe and like the videos and stuff. Just so that we actually have it here.
That's another branding thing. That's another branding tab.
That's all good. But with that, let's go ahead and start this.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Little Disney Plus buffer today. Holy
I feel
God!
I feel like I just started a speed run.
Right.
So I love how they mess with the logo to fit the aesthetic of the film.
Me too. Also, shout out Danny Coast is letting us know 200 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We did hit 200 last night. It was a big monumental thing for us. I'm really excited. Also, this opening. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember or how many of you are old enough to remember. The marketing of this movie hit me like in the very right way when it was coming out. That first teaser trailer is one of my all-time favorite teaser trailers, and it really just sets the aesthetic and the mood of what this movie is. And I remember being so excited because we didn't get anything like this really almost ever. This looks so different from what Disney was already doing.
That's why many people don't like it.
This and Titan AE were around the same time, and I know Titan AE isn't Disney, but it was a similarly sci-fi action themed animated film, so it felt like these studios were trying something new, and unfortunately it didn't go that far.
No, because it was around this time we got Tarzan, we got this, and then we got Treasure Planet, which were all like very similar vein.
Treasure Planet actually looks a lot similar to this.
It does, yeah. They're very much two of a kind, I think.
Very much. And I don't know if anyone here is fans of Hellboy, the comic, before like the movies existed, but the Mike Mignola art from the comics is like a very heavy influence on this film, which I love because it looks like a live action or a animated Hellboy film come to life, which I kind of love.
I mean, also like from the get-go, and I know the correlation really isn't there. It reminds me of Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah, totally,
absolutely. Similar color scheme.
Yeah.
This whole sequence was so frightening to me in the right way when I first saw it. I mean, the destruction of Atlantis should be frightening, but again, we had never really seen anything like this to this point by Disney, and at the time, it was just like, my God, man. I saw this in theaters. I was always going to see it in theaters because as a kid, I knew Michael J. Fox's voice right away, so I was always going to want to see this because I love Michael J. Fox. But the visual aesthetic of this all alone just was
That's a really cool title reveal too, man.
It is. It really is.
Animation's so good.
It really is.
Gorgeous.
Also, I just want to say, I feel like this movie totally fits what we were talking about last week with Tintin and my love for pulpy cereals.
Absolutely.
This is a very pulpy cereal film.
Absolutely. Man, now I want Fruit Loops.
Me too, man.
Cereal.
Have you guys ever seen the sequel, which is like an anthology of a failed TV plot?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not. I saw
You don't like it?
It's fine. I see the potential in it, what it would have been as a TV series, but when they rebranded it as a sequel, it was just a letdown.
You guys could probably guess the main reason I don't like it. And that is
Michael J. Fox.
It's not Michael J. Fox. Mike K said, didn't Mignola himself work on the film? Yes, at one point he did. I don't know if he stayed on all the way through or not. And then Matt says the animation in Atlantis is very different than the animation to Tarzan or Treasure Planet. It's similar. We're not saying the same. It's very similar.
It's the same art
What's
style.
going on? Let's get ready to talk Schmodown podcast. I'm gonna guess either Ferris. Is it Ferris in there?
That's Justin. I'm
You think
putting
it's
money on
Justin?
it.
Yeah, I bet it's Justin.
Because Justin doesn't
You guys are
acknowledge me. The others will, not Justin though.
This is such a funny.
Justin knows what's up then.
I think this is a great way to introduce the type of character Milo is.
Yes.
Yeah, a very nerdy, very eclectic, smart person.
It's huge. Oh, never mind. I
So
lied.
many other characters in fiction takes off his shirt and all of a sudden is super hot. It's like, where did you come from with your bow tie?
Ned Flanders.
You know what? we all talk about that Tom Holland is like clearly the obvious choice if you do live action, but now I'm looking at the bow tie and I want Matt Smith.
Matt Smith would be great. I also think Andrew Garfield would be great.
That's good too. That's very good.
Andrew Garfield is good in anything.
Yeah,
like
I think Andrew is taller and lankier, and I love this how he was just like practicing in front of these masks and the skull.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shug, I'm so glad you're here. I freaking love you, man.
I would think actually Adrian Brody.
Yeah, see,
wow.
Taylor remembers it too.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah,
Adrian
that's
Brody could be great. I think he's an underused actor.
Yeah.
He wanted to appear in that.
I Parker.
Hey, could always
say
see Mike Kalinowski as Milo.
Michael J. Fox, man. For this whole thing was right after the time right after the Parkinson stuff had really come to light, and he was shying away from doing live action films, which is one of the things I talked about last night with the Frighteners on the PJ Campbell show. We don't talk about enough how he really became one of the great voice actors of the 90s, even before that, because he had been doing Homeward Bound,
Stuart Little,
but then Stuart Little, and this really around the time that the Parkinson's had taken over, he found a way to continue doing what he loved, but doing it through animation.
Also, just to note, he's a big New York Rangers fan, which gives
he is
gold medal in my book.
Remember when we saw him at the Rangers game?
I do. I mean, I go all the time. He's always there. I just want to point out in that little film clip sequence, I love how they animated the crackles of what old film would look like. These are crackles, apparently.
And then you get David Ogden Stiers.
Yeah,
great David Ogden Stiers.
Actors of all time, in my opinion.
Yep. He only has a small role in here, but he's in almost every Disney movie from the 90s.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I miss him. He was also, of course, from MASH. If any of you have seen the TV version of MASH, he was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Winchester III.
I just love this character's his voice. It's the embodiment of Cogsworth.
I love how this whole sequence fully shows just Milo and how willing he is to do anything and how much he cares. He just wants to believe in Atlantis so much, and he really wants to prove how real it is.
Onward, Heinz.
It also kind of reminds me a little bit of National Treasure.
It does. A little
bit. Because National Treasure does the same thing of one of the descendants being so sure that the family's not crazy.
Could you imagine a Disney Plus National Treasure animated series where every week there's a new adventure?
Oh man, that'd be the best. I mean, it sounds like we're getting a Disney Plus series anyway, but animated would be even better.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a Disney Plus animated series of Atlantis. Do what they wanted to do and do the anthology correct.
Only if you bring back Michael J. Fox. That is my stipulation.
True. Who voiced him in the sequel?
I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it shouldn't come as any surprise to anyone on here listening, but Michael J. Fox is my favorite actor of all time. So I'm very.
I thought so. It's James Arnold Taylor.
That makes sense.
That's who I thought.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't speaking out of turn.
What a great noir style reveal, by the way.
I love the characters and their design.
Mm-hmm.
I have a framed print in my apartment of all the different characters' heads. It's really cool.
From this movie?
Yeah, as you can see, I'm well, you can't see because of the.
I love when Jim Cummings pops up and stuff too, man. It's always the best.
I was gonna say I enjoy this movie very much.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, Matt, yes, he is completely different than Marty McFly. I think that he did a great job kind of across the board every time he did it, because Stewart's a completely different character than any of the other ones he'd played. Michael J. Fox doesn't get enough love for what he can do. If you guys have never seen The American President or Casualties of War, check him out. So if they did this in live action, by the way, I would have Michael J. Fox in this role that's coming up.
Oh, that's clever.
You know?
I would have had Michael J. Fox as his father.
I want him to be the one who sends the new Milo on the adventure.
That's true. That would be good too, yeah.
And that's me doing the silly,
Yeah,
like
that'd be cool. That'd be
yeah.
And that is that not John Mahoney
It is John Mahoney, the late great John Mahoney.
from
from Frasier. Frasier.
His voice
Again,
is recognizable.
Yeah.
Frasier was like easily top 5 sitcoms of all time.
Could not agree more, my friend.
I mean, it's almost like we also like the show that preceded it enough that we might have parodied its music for our opening.
You heard that, right? Cheers is probably my favorite sitcom of all
They
time.
heard that in potato fields across the world.
Yep.
And I do love Cheers. I do love Frasier, and I always liked. And again, John Mahoney. If we're gonna talk about it, The American President, he's great in that too. He's got a small part as well in that movie.
Yeah.
This art style is very interesting.
Very angular lines.
Yeah, it's they're trying, like, I get the idea behind it, and I'm not saying I dislike it. It's just me trying to like figure out like how it's being used. They're trying to make it look like it's 3D when it's not.
They're trying
like,
to make it look like
edge.
they're trying to make it look like a 19th century scroll.
Mhm.
It's a very ancient, like, even the animation on here. This looks like a 1914 painting.
Because it's supposed to kind of be referencing and hearkening back to the idea that Atlantis has sunk and it's like an ancient civilization.
Yeah.
So make it have a similar feel. Evan, look up some of the Hellboy comic art and you'll see like the direct influence from it.
Okay.
Don't forget the rowboat, son.
I like how he sort of plays the drunken fool to reveal that he's actually pretty together and has this baller, incredible sea ship.
Leonard Nimoy is also in it. I didn't even realize that. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, this should definitely be Michael J. Fox. Now that I'm thinking about it, this would be perfect.
Kale, I want you to watch Cheers while we do a watch along and give us updates that you're watching the series finale by mistake, not realizing it.
It's 100 times better than like garbage like How I Met Your Mother.
Well, that's true. And then
Hey. None of that slander
Not.
here.
I actually forgot that John was in 2 episodes of Burn Notice.
He is.
I didn't remember that. Wow.
Burn Notice is great.
Burn Notice is great. I'm also a big fan, obviously, of Psych. Max and I love Psych.
And I
We
also
might be doing.
White Collar as well.
Mhm.
Another of the USA Sunny Day shows.
I think we might have something Psych planned for July. You guys just keep throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'll toss it. Here you go.
Lines on his mustache in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there any docs or any editorials about the making of this movie? As far as I'm aware, I've never seen one. The original DVD of this set was packed with special features. There was a giant 2-disc set, and it had a lot of stuff. But I don't think I've ever actually seen any of them. But Mike K actually said that he's seen 2 of them in his YouTube recommendations. So maybe I'll need to look into that because
Yeah, there's a couple. I think I remember they're on the DVD.
that's what so they're probably ported from that DVD that I'm talking about.
And this is where we're introduced to like that picture. These cast of characters are awesome. I love the cast.
Amazing team of adventurers.
Yeah,
I agree, and I think Zack Snyder and Patty Jenkins were actually inspired a little bit by this because if you look at Wonder Woman and BVS,
Right.
that whole sequence is very similar to looking at a picture and seeing a team, and it's very reminiscent of that. I think it's interesting that Zack Snyder and Patty Jenkins might like Atlantis. I could be projecting here and just seeing what I want to see, but I'm going with it.
PJ projecting?
Just
he
like
is-
Luke Skywalker on Crate, motherfucker.
just like a film because we talk about movies.
That was a pretty good one-liner, actually.
Yeah,
PJ projecting, just like Crate on, or Luke on Crate, motherfucker. Yeah, it's a good line.
I love this score too. It's so rousing.
It's
James Newton Howard is
yeah,
yes.
I think so. It's a great score.
She has such an old-fashioned, sultry femme fatale design to her, like something out of Dick Tracy.
she looks like something from Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This scene in particular reminds me a lot of like what was that Jude Law film? Sky something in the world.
Spy Captain.
Sky Captain, yeah.
And the great Jim Varney.
Yeah, I was going to say the late great Jim Varney as well.
Amazing.
There's actually quite a few actors in this, unfortunately, that I'm realizing have passed away.
Unfortunately, the older we get, the more actors and movies we love start passing away. I love the design of the ship. It's so cool. It's very steampunky.
It is.
Yeah.
And there's
done in a time where I don't necessarily think steampunk was as popular as it is today.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I also want to say, and you guys will see it if you've never seen this before, or if you have and you aren't kind of aware, like there's definitely almost an H.P. Lovecraft feel to some of the creatures, which I really like too. When they come into contact with some of the underwater creatures, there's definitely like an otherworldly Cthulhu style feel. It very much feels like that to me, at least. So, and the late great James Garner.
Yep.
I'm having a really hard time believing this is a Disney movie.
I completely forgot James Garner passed away too. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
I do love James Garner, though. If you guys don't know who James Garner is, he was one of the great character actors for a very long time who ended up becoming one of the greatest TV stars of the 80s in the Rockford Files.
And then, of course, I always think of Maverick with him and Mel Gibson.
We just passed the smoking guy, Vinny or Vincenzo. He's voiced by that guy from Casper who gets his head turned around. I just don't know his name.
Every now and then, this is super irrelevant, but every now and then I get remembered like how good my speaker is because I heard a sound from the other side of the room that came from the movie, and it's just so nice sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
you know when you're impressed by your own technology.
The use and the use of the 3D animation mixed with the hand drawn is gorgeous in this movie.
And sometimes it doesn't translate into 90s films.
This is one of the top tier ones for me as far as using the tech and stuff.
Yeah, this and Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet 2 does it really well.
Is anybody else getting like Miyazaki vibes or like Ghibli?
Absolutely.
A little bit. Of like Howl's Moving Castle or something?
Yes.
And actually, one of the two directors of this, after he did this, went on and directed the U.S. voice cast for Spirited Away.
Oh, cool.
So maybe Miyazaki saw a little of his work here too. I don't know.
James Garner was in The Notebook. That is correct. Thank you, Kale.
What is a Notebook? Sorry, I'm kidding.
And we're introduced to Mole, who definitely in live action would be Danny DeVito.
or you.
Or me. Oh, Mole.
You asked too many questions. I love the animation of his eyes.
Charlie Day because of his voice.
Sure. I mean,
Harvey Firestein.
Oh, yeah.
His character's actually a little similar to me to Charlie Day's character in Pac Rim.
Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely
the first one.
Yeah, yes. No, there's only one movie. There's only one movie. Pacific Rim never had a sequel. I was very let down. It never happened.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Are we gonna pass up on Timothy Spall here for Mole? I feel like that'd be pretty interesting.
It is Timothy Spall.
That would be a great casting in live action.
It sucks though that he's not big anymore.
And he's also I'm just realizing this now as I Google search his name. He is also 63, so he
Could be Toby Jones could work too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Toby Jones would be great.
Mike Coulter right here.
Oh, this is totally Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, The Rock would be good.
Yeah.
I'd get behind that.
I like the Mike Coulter idea. I think that's good.
Yeah, I really like Mike Coulter.
Yeah.
I would love to see Keith. Wait, is it Keith David voicing or no?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
Keith David would have been great in like the early 2000s for that role, but
His character is like a bubblier version of Keith David's character from The Thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're very similar, kind of the smart doctor character.
And that woman could totally be Kathy Bates.
Also, you are really right in how this is pulpy because they got straight into the adventure. There wasn't that much build up. It's like we're here.
Oh, this is
We're-
briskly paced.
ready to
It's
go.
only like an hour and change, hour 20 something.
It's hour
I mean-
20.
Yeah.
Boris doing the voice, who was on Doom Patrol and Smallville.
Yep.
That she would be played by Zendaya probably.
I would say Zendaya would be really great as
The princess.
The princess, yeah.
After watching her in Euphoria, I'm now convinced she could literally do anything. That's easily like her best performance so far, just in general. And like at first to me, like I grew up watching Zendaya and Shake It Up. And like her in Homecoming, not to say like MJ isn't a hard role, but like it's not like something that you overtly prove yourself in. After seeing it in her in Euphoria, I buy that she can literally do anything. She can shut up and take my money. She's no longer to me like a studio actress. If that makes sense. So she is like she can do what she wants.
The James Garner role could go to I can't remember his name. Stephen Lang.
ooh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's someone else that I would love to think could do it, but I can't say his name anymore because it makes me sad and he'd be problematic.
J.K. Simmons would be great too.
J.K. Simmons would be.
I'm trying
J.K.
to.
Simmons is great in anything.
Oh, I like the idea of Shamar Moore.
Yeah.
For the Doctor.
I mean, it's really obvious if you guys know how much I like Lethal Weapon, who I'm thinking of. I think he'd actually.
No, never, no. No.
That's what I'm saying. See, I think Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time. Yeah.
Well, which is funny because they played father and son in Maverick.
Right, and that's what I was thinking.
I
I'm all about that stunt casting, you guys.
This reminds me a little of the Naboo stuff in Phantom Menace.
There's always a bigger fish. Yep.
Yeah,
One of the top 3 scenes ever in Star Wars.
incredible. The telegraph operator,
Yes.
amazing.
I like how they just kill off half the people in this.
Amanda.
When I actually watched this fairly recently, and I did think to myself, this may be the most, even compared to Pirates, the most violent, gun-heavy movies Disney's ever put out.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I don't think that's even a question.
They get away with stuff in this movie at PG because it's animated that they wouldn't in a PG-13, I think.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
Was this a box office success?
No, it was
No,
not.
it wasn't a massive flop, but it underperformed for sure.
This was when Disney started to have a lot of problems like that kind of period. A lot of the stuff that they were doing around that time did underperform.
Yep.
Straight up H.P. Lovecraft monster to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is something totally out of
Wait,
Yeah.
so this means this movie's in the Cloverfield universe, right?
Correct.
This goddamn.
I would buy it. I would buy it.
Guys, they're so good in this. The voice acting is so perfect. I feel like everyone was so well cast.
Even the way the animation is shaking in the submarine, it like adds an intensity to it that makes it feel the stakes are real.
That shot freaked me out the first time I saw it as a kid. Unfortunately, they had Kale saying Liam Neeson.
Good work.
That could work. Yeah. It is a little 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, for sure. Jules Verne.
The submarine ride in Disneyland got changed to Finding Nemo, but I imagine an alternate timeline where this was a bigger hit and it became an Atlantis ride.
That would have been the best thing ever.
And it seems like it's one of those cases where this is just too different from the rest of Disney. Not like the quality of the film itself, but like it's just too different from Disney. It's harder to market, especially because Disney is a very specific brand that they put out.
It's not a fairy tale.
Right, and it's not a musical, and but I give them immense points for trying something different.
Yeah, but you could argue that's why the early 2000s were so important, to Michael's point, because now, like, I would argue now more than ever, Disney's animated features are more diverse than they've ever been.
Yeah, and they did sort of come around to this type of movie, like
look at Wreck-It Ralph.
I was to say Zootopia or Wreck-It Ralph are not necessarily similar, but more action based, more sci-fi stuff, more adventure.
Could you imagine if they tried to do an Atlantis like CG version? Oh man.
Like Beowulf style or something? Or
Yeah.
yeah, that'd
I
be.
mean, there is a heavy rumor that they're working on a live action movie of this.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. I
Amazing.
mean, Harrison Ford is my stunt cast for anything. My perfect version of the Mummy 3 that I want to do has him in it as well.
You mean the Mummy 4?
No. It's like I've told you. I've told you I'm like, yeah.
So I could be crazy, but going back a little bit earlier, that older lady that had like the headphones on was talking in the back. I feel
Right.
like they just took the exact character style and voice from Emperor's New Groove, because she reminds me a lot of the waiter, like the red haired waiter from Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah,
That
a
just
little
sounds
bit.
like the exact same person.
I didn't even
just a
thought
little bit
about
older.
Or Roz from Monsters
Inc.
Inc.
I've got my eye on you, Mike Wazowski.
Always watching you, Wazowski.
Yeah, it definitely
Always
feels more Don Bluth like.
Yeah, there is a definite Don Bluth inspiration in here. I don't think Don Bluth gets enough credit for being the
Rockadoodle was one of my favorites.
animation innovator that he was in the late 80s, early 90s.
I actually really liked. I really like We're Back, and I like the Fievel films a lot. I think Don Bluth did a lot for animation. I think you're right. He just gets overlooked because of Disney.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, I own We're Back on Blu-ray. I still watch that movie.
Did
Is
he,
that the one with the giant dinosaurs in the city?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
did he do Fern Gully or no?
I don't remember. Mike could probably tell us if Don Bluth did. He's really great with that stuff.
So many people just died.
Like right this second? Do we have to be concerned?
Well, I mean, yeah. I just like how they just killed off like thousands of people.
We're all gonna die.
For what it's worth, Disney would never make an animated film today where one of their characters is smoking the whole movie, even if it took place in the past.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
Kale, yes, absolutely. All Dogs Go to Heaven is wonderful.
I can't watch that movie. It makes me sob.
Yeah,
Then again, so do the Fievel movies, especially because they're thinly veiled Jewish allegories.
yeah. And the second one was James Stewart's last film.
When I was a kid, the Mandela effect was I thought "Why Should I Worry" was from All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Huh.
I always thought that for a long time.
Huh.
That expression.
Mike says Bluth did not do Fern Gully, but he did direct Thumbelina.
Okay. This is a great shot.
Yeah, it is. Fern Gully is great.
Martin Short, right? No, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams is what I meant. Rest in peace. Oh my God, everyone is dead. I'm having a real like existential crisis while we're watching Atlantis. You guys.
I missed 2002 when nobody was dead.
Are
Okay.
you okay, Max?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm eating a
Okay.
brownie. It's delicious. Thank you, folks at Starbucks.
Is that watermelon hitting pretty good?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, just the watermelon.
I did eat
Nice.
some juicy watermelon. I am feeling it from top to bottom.
Okay, good.
It's not cantaloupe.
That was last night.
That was last
Oh
night.
man, Land Before
love it.
Time.
I can't. I mean, that's another movie that I just want to fucking like.
I
throw myself
sobbed.
into a group in misery. It's so sad.
When his mom dies in that movie, oh my god.
The humor is
So
so.
funny.
You wouldn't do this anymore.
No, you wouldn't drink that. That's nitroglycerin. that's so messed up. All of a sudden, it becomes a body horror film, and his like flesh is melting off his face. Whew. It's a great character beat too. That no one helps Milo get up the cliff.
Yeah. Oh, Mike says The Secret of Nim.
That
That's
is a good one too.
Yeah.
Blow it up. Preach.
These characters are so good. It sucks that we don't see them anymore. I don't even think that any of these characters are walk-around characters at Disney World.
No, they ignore it. This movie has zero presence in the parks. I like that all of a sudden now they're in an Arctic tundra. And now they're not.
Maybe they just turned on the heater. I don't know. I love Vinny's voice. It sounds like he has like a bunch of bubble gum in his mouth.
It's like a bad Schwarzenegger accent, but if Schwarzenegger was born in Russia.
This is actually where the inspiration for the Incredibles villain came from.
No, that's Mole Man from Fantastic Four.
They look a lot alike. They're very similar, you know.
No, I'm just making a joke.
Oh no, the Molinator or whatever. His based off of. But Incredibles was released before this.
When was Atlantis dropped?
2003, right?
No, like
Yeah.
2001.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Because Incredibles is 2004.
Yeah, it's 04.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Damn,
I thought it was-
Chris.
I thought it was like the same year as Incredibles. Okay.
You really tried dropping a bomb on me like that, thinking I didn't know my Incredibles knowledge.
I tried to
Damn.
make it look stupid, but I guess I failed. But I'll have other opportunities.
Talking about Incredibles, Brad Bird month coming up soon.
Okay, way to plug it. That was a great transition.
Not as good as the transitions in Tintin, though, right, guys?
the transitions in Tintin are next level.
That's
And
true.
Transition.
Those of us who join us weekly on the animated watch-alongs.
I'm really glad that everyone's back this week. Like, our whole audience is actually back in a way that they weren't last week, and I'm happy to see them. Mike is our one person who was with us last week. And that's not a dig at anyone, by the way. That was just what happened because things got crazy last week.
Just in general. Last week was a trip.
I love how his name is Cookie. I don't know what I was going with that, but yeah. Treasure Planet came out in 2004. Okay, yeah, that's right.
What the fuck?
No.
Oh, yeah, Stardrew was here last week, too. Stardrew, we always like when you're here.
Shout to Sardrew.
Yeah.
Stardrew, you're a star.
A Star is Born? Dude.
How I wonder what you are.
You're a shining star. Doesn't matter who you are.
Tarzan came out in 1999. I thought. I wonder how Jane felt. But no.
Chris.
And then,
He's basically pitching the movie.
Yeah.
Shout out Mike K, $8 donation. Oh, no, that was a couple days ago. Never mind.
Yeah.
Am I looking at it wrong? That was
but,
my
thank,
bad.
but thank you, Mike K, for the $8. It's phenomenal.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually, if I can read this right.
Ooh. Ooh, I felt that.
Top donors. Michael K is actually our top donor. So just I want to shout that out to you.
It's true.
Next to someone on this panel, Maxwell Haddad. Thanks, Max.
Erroneous.
I know. Oh, that's of May.
It's still May, my friend.
No, never mind. Just don't worry about it. Okay.
But thanks to everybody who's donated.
Yes.
Remember, the Streamlabs is right here in the banner. Make sure to check out Streamlabs. Oh, well, that does not help. Streamlabs.
The magic of live theater.
To today, and Chris hosts a show without being able to edit himself. We have
All right, I clicked the wrong banner.
Recess came out in 2001, and that was one of the first times I saw this trailer on the big screen was when I saw
Same.
Recess. And that's why I think it's always had an effect on me, because I also really love Recess School's Out. I think that movie is phenomenally hilarious and still really relevant.
I need to watch it.
John,
Have you seen it before, Max? Or oh wow,
That is a good.
Is it on
School's
Disney?
Out. It's a School's Out. Yeah. It's a. It might be.
I can definitely see why kids didn't like gravitate towards this film. There's a lot of big words being thrown out.
It's a smart film.
It is.
It doesn't pander to young children.
Which I can
Oh,
appreciate. Like I appreciate that fact. But like from like a marketing producing standpoint, I can see.
I think they were trying for a slightly older audience.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, like Disney films now, like Wreck-It Ralph, appeal towards an older audience.
This after Hunchback and Tarzan is just like, I think they were just trying to appeal to.
How did Hunchback do at the box office?
Okay.
yeah, it did fine.
Yeah.
It has representation in the park, so I did okay.
It's curious.
I don't. How much representation does Hunchback have in the park?
Not much.
Not much.
Has anyone seen the Disney short film on John Henry? The animation of this film and that short are very similar.
No.
I plead ignorance.
Oh man, yeah. Recess was one of the great Saturday morning cartoons, and if you haven't seen School's Out, you really got to see it, Mike.
Yeah. Recess, Weekenders, and
Wild Thornberries.
Wild Thornberries. Yeah, nuts. I was never really a fan of I was more like a Rocket Power guy, I would say, than Wild Thornberries.
Oh, is that the skateboarding show?
Yeah.
Okay, with Tapioca, the big guy.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, but has anyone seen Kick Buttowski? Kick Buttowski. Kick Buttowski.
I have
I'm
no
glad-
idea what you're talking about, Ev.
Yeah, I have no idea.
my
I'm
point.
glad you enjoy it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Though. Yeah.
You said School's Out is on Disney Plus.
All right.
OT.
That's a good thing to know.
As is the entire series of Recess.
And I think the
Yeah.
other two short film or the prequel and the sequel movies I think are on there too.
When they're in the snowstorm and trapped in the car. Yeah.
That's sort
Well,
of
yeah, there's School's Out taking the fifth, and what's the name of the prequel one again?
Hey guys, is that Calvin Klein underwear?
What?
Yikes!
Oh.
Fucking yikes!
Don't ask John Roca; he won't be sure.
And guys, this is Disney's OnlyFans account that we're watching.
But yeah, Recess was actually the first thing that I watched on Disney Plus, and it was it's only 3 seasons. It's a pretty quick watch.
pretty much all older Disney animated shows they kept to 3 seasons and about 64 episodes. They had like a pretty firm rule.
That's why a lot of it was all just based on syndication.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then they broke that off with Hannah Montana, which arguably is probably one of their worst shows. So.
Ooh, that's hot.
Oh,
Mhm.
thrilling action scene.
Yeah.
It legitimately gave me so much anxiety as a kid because these animated films, especially back in the 90s when I feel like screens at the theaters were bigger than some of them are now, or at least they felt bigger because I was younger. This whole scene felt so massive, and just I remember that feeling of dread, but in like a fun way. It just was so. It felt so grand.
It did. When I was watching this again, I was like, okay, this is where they have all these extras that they have on the expedition.
The
First
red
wave
shirt-
is dead, and then this is the next rapture where you lose the rest of them, and so you have the main core cast that you can focus on.
Yeah, this movie just killed a ton of characters.
Yeah, they just kill all these extras just so they can concentrate on this core group, which is fine. I get it, but it's just like, wow, a lot of bodies, a lot of people dying.
Who would you want to see this live action version? I mean, my pick is Gore Verbinski. I think he would just make the most nuts version of Atlantis ever.
Guillermo del Taco would be great too.
What
mean-
did you just say?
Oh, that was so racist.
What? Did you say
I meant
Grover Del Taco?
I meant oh God.
So, Chris, I don't know if you ever heard the man's name. Guillermo Del Toro.
I meant Del Toro. I'm so sorry.
I am
So
also
today, while we watch The Shape of Water, we're going to be going over how to make Mexican street tacos.
Oh my god. So
My
back
name's Chris Clark.
I would love to see Johnston direct the live action Atlantis.
Oh yeah.
No, that'd be a good one. Joe
I would
Johnson.
love
I would
that.
also throw a director with a fun name. Paul Verhoeven, I think, would do a really good job.
Oh wow. Paul Fajita sandwich. Great. That was awful. I'm like,
Oh no.
Also, is that-
I
that's the only blood?
can't get over fucking Grover Del Taco.
Del Taco is a fast food chain in the West
It's
Coast.
so bad.
Like, yeah, what did Grover do after Sesame Street? Oh yeah, you noticed he had a food truck uptown. You know, did tacos. We call it Del Taco.
This is the first time they come in contact with the Atlanteans.
Yeah.
And I love the design. And there is definitely an avatarness to the Atlanteans and the world of Atlantis that they design in this, which we'll see.
I know, Chris. The Atlanteans' last names are not Del Taco.
No, no. No,
Is
I'm
the main character in this movie Milo Del Taco?
no.
Or is it Milo Del Burrito? Never remember.
Oh no. This is why I'm not on Watch Them All.
Chris, have you tweeted the video out yet? I've been waiting
Oh.
to retweet this. Potato Del Taco.
Oh, Franco's right. John Turtletop would be really good. I think he could do a great job.
Yeah, although I wanted to just do National Treasure 3 first.
Yeah.
Wow, that is incredible.
Well,
The music, the reveal,
That's beautiful.
chill inducing right here.
I do want to say, like, in terms
Cameron
of
Wood.
Brothers too, I
Yeah,
think the Russo brothers to be
There's
interesting.
a lot of Atlantis
What are your?
are in this movie.
Yes, absolutely, Evan. What are yours?
I was gonna say I think the Russo brothers would be really interesting in this, because everyone's giving them a lot of shit for Hercules, but I think this property would be a little bit better for them to take on because they are known for very much like we just got to keep going in the
Right.
story, and this movie is doing a very good job of that. So I think it would have been a good like different step outside of comic book movies for them would be something like this.
It's not a bad choice. I'm not against it. I think that they do great action too. So, and they did
I'm
a very
Russo
grand.
brothers fan.
They also did very grand action. Ooh, Joseph Kaczynski.
Oh.
I love Tron Legacy.
I think Justin Lin would do a good job too.
Yeah, dude, Star Trek Beyond is so rad.
Exactly. I think he did a similar tone to with Star Trek Beyond.
They speak my language. I feel like that character that character feels so much to me. Oh man. Where I totally blanked. I don't remember where I was going.
I don't either.
Oh, that character reminds me of Peter Sellers. Like very much like Peter Sellers. I don't know why. It feels like one of his kind of very characters that you got used to, because those were the kind of things he'd do. Hey. Stop. Thank you.
Amazing shot right there.
Yeah. Again, this movie felt so huge. Like just so grand.
Yeah, the scale of it is impressive. I mean, it's
Those
animated.
establishing shots are really important when making something feel grand. Which I feel like sometimes like in modern time filmmaking, the establishing shots aren't as big as they should be from time to time. I think like a film recently that comes to mind that does a really good job with establishing shots is Black Panther. But I don't feel that as often as we do now, you know?
Sure. I do think that adventure films in like this kind of scale is very rare, just kind of period anymore.
Yeah.
But even then, I think movies like Lawrence of Arabia were also so few and far between. Like, though we remember them for being grand because there's not that many movies like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is stunning too, with the water and the pads and the greenery.
Yeah.
I just want to go visit here.
I would say also, I feel like there is a Lawrence of Arabia vibe to this movie too, in the same kind of adventure style.
Watch a movie with PJN.
Matt says he gets it. He says that the mole is very Inspector Clouseau. I think that's exactly it. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I think that it really does kind of look like a nice painting. I'd love to actually get some of the concept art or something as a poster.
Do they ever delve into where they got the inspiration for the language of Atlantean? Because I know that there are sometimes when they talk about like Elvish or like other languages where it gets like inspiration. But
Right. No, I don't. I honestly don't know. Mike Cake might know better in the chat if he has an idea. That's a really good point, because it always feels like no matter what language you're creating for something, there's a lot of thought. There's a rhyme or reason to everything.
yeah, it's almost like you have to make rules for it to make sense.
I honestly think that the big inspiration might be from the guy who did the language stuff for Star Wars. They might have used a lot of that.
Well, it was actually the guy who designed the language is the same guy who designed Sherlock.
That I was going to say very Star Trek, which makes sense why you would have Leonard Nimoy.
Mm-hmm. Another
Person who passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's so great in this movie, by the way. Leonard Nimoy had a great career comeback on that back half of his... Like, this is a start of it for me. Not that I ever thought he went away, because I was a huge Star Trek fan growing up. But then the upswing of doing Fringe around that time and, like, falling into Abrams's camp, doing Star Trek again. Like, it was a big time for him up until he passed away.
That Bruno Mars music video.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
His Simpsons
Guys,
cameo
make sure you
in
guys
the,
go to Twitter.
Bottle Royale episode.
Make sure you guys right now. Make sure you guys go to Twitter. Make sure you guys go to @ChrisClark8788 and just press the retweet button.
Oh,
that is all I
God.
ask right now. I'll be right back.
Excuse me.
I just love the very 30s pulp style drawings of these characters.
Mhm.
There's just something about it, man. And when you look at the concept art of like Indiana Jones, I feel like Garner's character even looks like Indy in that concept art, but older, like even more grizzled than what we had seen in that original concept art. It's just so cool. And you know, Joe, I think the Joe Johnston thing, Max, I think you're onto something, because thinking about it, Joe Johnston's inspiration obviously was working with George and Spielberg on those movies.
Mhm.
And then him doing Rocketeer, which I still consider arguably one of the greatest Indiana Jones love letters of all time. I think you got something, man. I just get lost in the world. I could just look at it forever. I love the animation, and it feels kind of like a watercolor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the palette's very muted. Nothing
Yeah.
like overly vibrant.
Yeah, I like how the blues just emphasize the character expression. Who voices her, by the way?
Cree Summers.
Oh, do you think this would have been a situation where they probably should have stunt casted a couple people to get more box office?
They had Michael J. Fox and James Garner. I mean, in the 90s, both of them were still very popular.
Mhm.
So that was the stunt casting, really. Like, everyone else is kind of filled around them. Because Michael J. Fox was still Michael J. Fox, you know? Spin City was very popular still right around this time.
Yeah.
I'm also not necessarily a fan of stunt casting.
Oh, when it's done poorly, like in apparently Scoob, but I mean, like, just when it's probably maybe a little bit like.
Oh,
Did they find the Fountain of Youth? Maybe.
Look. I have my own.
Oh, yeah, you do have your own. Is this better than Avatar?
Yes.
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 This is actually my first time watching Atlantis, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this more than I have Avatar.
I had no idea you had never seen this before.
Nope. First time watch.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting why you're so entranced. I keep looking at you and I'm like, Brooklyn's just like really into this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a watch.
I have a very laughable and focused face. I have the inability to not breathe through my nose. So if you ever see me just like mouth open, tongue out, I'm not like zoned out. I'm just watching.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Evan, this is Evan's first time watching it too.
This shot is stunning. Really,
Yes,
just
it is.
beautiful.
Well, and this
Also,
was.
here's the question.
very.
Go ahead, Evan.
I was gonna say, I heard their question. I don't think anything can replace the Avatar viewing experience for me. At least the first time. The movie's aged poorly for me, but it's so hard to forget that first time I saw it.
Sure.
Because that was the first movie growing up where I wanted to go see it. Like, it was my choice to go watch that movie, you know?
No,
You
totally.
can have a lot of great beers at a concert, but the concert could still be crap.
Correct.
Wow, that knife really hurt. So
Yeah.
I had to pull it out. Woo!
Talk about knives.
Knives Out. Wow. Okay.
Don't
Wow.
get me started with Knives Out.
Make sure you guys check out our Knives Out watch along Friday.
Nicely done, Evan.
That was totally scripted.
I love these ships. The whole design of the world is stunning.
Well, Kale, what do you think? Do you think this is better? Because, I can appreciate if you don't. I think they're both incredible world-building films, but this is so much more my speed personally, because it feels like a pulp film.
I think the characters in this are more memorable than the
The ensemble again. This is why I love Toy Story 2 and 3 is the ensemble. It's just, if you have a good ensemble and a good cast of characters, it just makes the viewing experience elevated. I hope that makes sense.
Absolutely does.
I think this one for me just feels a little more genuine, and it has almost like a bio. It's like BioShock, but like in the 30s. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like that dystopian feel, which is weird, but yeah.
I think BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
And let's not forget these two fall in love and they're 100 years apart.
100?
Isn't she like 100 years old or something?
It's like 8,500 years old.
Oh yeah.
That's talk about December, May romance.
Yeah, right.
I think Chris was trying to tie it into Futurama and to say that these guys did it first before before Fry and Leela. But
Chris, do you like Futurama?
I like The Simpsons, but Futurama I've never really watched. I only watched an episode or two, but I'm just like, again, like this, it's just not my kind of stuff. I like The Simpsons, but again, Futurama is like more Zoidberg. That humor kind of just it's a little grating for me.
No, I get it. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Breaking news, guys. I know this isn't the point of the show, but in response to The Last Dance, ESPN has just ordered a 9-episode documentary for Tom Brady.
I'm not interested. Next.
Agreed.
I don't
A
need that.
9-episode documentary. That's wow. Okay, that's
There's plenty of.
So at least
things
3
to cover.
episodes on him cheating.
Oh my god, I was fucking swear.
Then the other last 2 episodes about him kissing.
Oh my
his
god.
son.
Oh, she's cute.
Jeez.
Evan. I think we need to have a serious talk later.
What do you mean?
She's 8,000 years older than you, dude.
Okay.
Mike says, from a character and world building perspective, I'll never be not disappointed that the animated series fell through. I think that's fair.
It depends on what they were going for. Because I love the sequel. I know that the voice acting changes bothers, but I love the sequel. I wish that there was more of it, but again, I don't know how they could have lasted more than 10 episodes.
Bro, how is Milo holding his breath? That man should be dead.
He's like Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy did not drown. I hope. Did anyone in the chat watch Double or Nothing this weekend? Because if you watched AEW Double or Nothing, we got to talk about Stadium Stampede, you guys, because it needs Best Picture at the Oscars next year.
No. It's already been usurped by hashtag Potato Chris.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but okay, then second Best Picture of the year.
Oscars doesn't give runner-up trophies.
I don't. Well, they tried to once.
Ho ho!
Oh,
Timely joke.
Do.
I always love when in any sort of adventure-style story where they discover like ancient drawings or writings that they have to decipher. It sort of reminds me of Star Wars Rebels.
Mm-hmm. You know what else did one very similar to this that was very cool, and again, because it was also very Lovecraftian, is Prometheus.
Oh yeah, interesting. I forget about that movie.
I really enjoy that movie, and I know that's controversial.
I like it. I like Alien Covenant more. That
Yeah,
might be
that's fair.
controversial.
Kale says, I'm thinking this gets the edge because you know the heroes and villains, because you know who they are. And then, however, when you start talking to the original
Don't
characters.
finish reading it. People haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Spoiler. Ignore that,
What?
Brooklyn and Evan. Just ignore it.
Evan ignores us half the time anyway, so it's fine.
I mean, it's fair.
Yeah.
I have husband ears, so I don't hear half the shit anyways.
You're the main man, bro.
Husband.
Shout out to that transition.
We do love a good transition. And what a great reveal, by the way, for this situation.
Although when I was a kid, I could tell that he was the villain too at the beginning.
Garner's so great in this, too. Like, for him being someone who is always known for being, Rockford, the great, good guy, him playing a character like this just feels so different. I think that's why it's so scary, because as a voice, you recognize it. Who clicked on that again?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it is kind of similar to the twist in Captain Marvel, actually.
I like that term, adventure capitalist. That's fun.
Yeah. Michael J. Fox does not get enough credit for what a great actor he is, not just like comedian. Because just listening to how he delivers these lines, like he could do drama, man. Again, please watch Casualties of War if you haven't. It's incredible. But because Garner felt like he was your friend, someone who'd protect you, I think that twist just really gets you in the throat if you know the voice.
Counter.
So much.
So many explosions.
This would be PG-13 if you re-rated it today. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
There was a shot with blood in it too.
Mm-hmm.
That is very Aladdin-like.
Yeah.
That's a good line too, for the bandage on that bleeding heart of yours.
Yeah.
You know who else could be cool in this role, and he probably wouldn't get it because he's not famous enough, is Bruce Campbell.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be great.
Have you seen some of the videos he's been doing during quarantine?
Well, his beard is so
Yeah.
luxurious.
It really is, and his videos are amazing.
It's a beautiful transition sequence, seeing it in his eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mike was saying that he was wondering if this was the first time Disney had tried the twist villain trope, and then he remembered Toy Story 2 was 2 years before.
But like,
Yes, you're welcome, Mike. You know, if you want, sometimes you guys, when we do this, if you want to ask us questions, we'll answer them too. But we're also talking about the movie.
no ASMR because we're eating popcorn.
Yeah, it's the crunching.
I know.
Yeah.
Zootopia did it too.
Utopias was really interesting because it got on a political level that I think was a really interesting commentary.
Oh, with the sheep, yeah.
That is so beautiful. Sorry, I know I keep saying this, but I really just find the imagery in this movie to be stunning.
The lighting is phenomenal.
Who knew that Atlantis could take a concept from Star Trek V and actually have it work?
And I like how she knew that her dad died by seeing his sculpture in the thing. That's horrible.
That shot is so creepy. It just really feels so Lovecraftian, and I love that about it. I really, really do. You know, speaking of that, Bruce Campbell, and if we're talking about H.P. Lovecraft, I don't know how many of you guys love the Evil Dead series in the chat or even on the panel, but at one point there was actually an Evil Dead and Reanimator crossover in the comics run a couple of years ago, and it is so much fun seeing, because Evil Dead is a little bit H.P. Lovecraft kind of homaged anyway, but to really see Ash fighting like crazy H.P. Lovecraft style monsters is next
creepy.
level.
If I had a lot, if I was very wealthy, I would pay whatever I had to do to get Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
Me too. I still contend that Freddy versus Jason versus Ash not happening is what caused that entire decade of reboots of series that we loved and the characters we loved, until they realized that was not what people wanted. And it brought us back to this like nostalgic period where we ended up with Ash versus Evil Dead and things like that.
Oh,
The music here is great.
yeah.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It sounds actually kind of a little like Star Wars a little bit.
Imagine George Lucas in Disney offices. So here is is unused score that we use from the Phantom Menace. Here's some of it if you'd like.
It does sound like Duel of the Fates, to be completely honest, but it's still amazing.
Who did the score for this film?
I think it's
James Newton Howard.
because he did Treasure Planet also. When everyone thinks the Dark Knight score, they always think Hans Zimmer, but James Newton Howard co-composed it with him and deserves
Yep.
as much credit.
I agree. I think James Newton Howard gets overlooked a lot in the conversation of
He did a nice job with the
composers.
Hunger Games movies too, I thought.
Yeah.
Although it, like the Dark Knight score in particular is a very Zimmery sort of feel. Just yeah, a lot of his tendencies sort of overtake the score. But if we're talking great Hans Zimmer scores, can't not talk about Sherlock Holmes.
Oh yeah.
Sherlock Gnomes or Sherlock Holmes?
Sure, yeah, yes, Evan. Sherlock Holmes.
Romeo and Juliet was a thing, and it was by Disney.
No, Romeo and Juliet was not by Disney.
Not
That
this-
film is great. but that's not by-
DreamWorks or Big Sky? Or I think it's Big Sky.
Maybe I was wrong there. My bad. I thought it was Disney animated.
I'm gonna look that up.
Hold your horses, Loverboy.
Elton John's in that too.
He produced it, I think.
Yeah.
And they made a sequel.
Elton
He-
John's Impact. What's he
Romeo
gonna
and
say?
Juliet.
Elton John's done so much. But
He's
since
got
you,
the money to do it.
yeah, it was distributed by the Walt Disney Studios.
But
Well then.
who did the animation though? It wasn't Disney who actually.
Yeah.
Touchstone. Touchstone and Rocket Man Pictures. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not surprised because he has like a contract with Disney about songwriting and stuff. How do you think this would have fared as a musical? Speaking of that,
I don't think it would have worked.
No, it wouldn't.
There's blood in that shot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks, Max.
Ta-da.
It feels bad. Look at her.
well, yeah,
I've always liked her character.
you know, yeah.
I actually really like this whole scene. I always remember it feeling very inspiring.
Well, kind of reminds me of Fellowship. And
Yeah.
my axe and my sword and my cigarette.
And my drill, yeah,
And my tacos.
and
And my nitroglycerin.
I'm not sure I know how much of this is actually Joss's script or not. It's a good question. Kind of.
Joss Whedon wrote it.
He was probably one of the writers around it at one point or another because he used to script doctor, you know. Because he was like he had worked on Toy Story, the first one.
Oh my god. Joss Whedon makes no sense to me sometimes.
Joss Whedon is an Oscar nominee because of Toy Story.
Yep,
Screenplay.
exactly. Mike said he can notice that a lot of his favorite composers can now be traced back to at least 6 degrees of Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, well, he has a studio where he trains composers, and then they hire the studio, and he assigns who gets which job.
According to Joss, he had not a shred in the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he was the first script writer, but apparently he was just the first draft. So
Well, didn't he write Titan AE?
He might have.
it just says that he left for other Disney projects. So
Interesting.
Marvel's The Avengers. That's a bad joke there, guys. Just
That was
let it go.
that landed flat. Kind of like some of the people in Stadium Stampede.
You're obsessed. It's unhealthy.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it just brought me so much joy.
flatbread pizza's good.
Chris, you watched it with me. There was a bar fight and everything.
And what? Oh, in the WWE thing and the
The AEW thing, not the WWE thing.
Oh yeah.
It was fun though.
It was great. Yeah, it was basically the Food Network, but with like fists.
What?
Oh, man.
I want to. Someone put that on a shirt, please.
This heat is kind of devastating.
It really is. And
Some
I'm
food, but fists.
it's like the Food Network.
That's
fish.
okay.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I'm gonna go get another beer. I'm gonna go try and raise that out of my head, and then I'm gonna come back, enjoy the last half hour of this movie, and then we'll just say nothing else crazy. All right?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Brooklyn.
I'll be back.
Go for it, man.
What is your favorite kind of taco?
I actually don't like Mexican food. So.
The
What?
racism continues with you, Mike.
No, I meant to say Del Toro. Gavin Del Toro. Guillermo Del Toro. Yeah. No, wait, oh my god. Damn it. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking right now.
No, please
Yeah,
don't.
okay.
I'm sorry, Evan.
This is almost like Leonard Nimoy doing a Nick Nolte voice. It's so interesting. I never really noticed that before.
Kind of, yeah.
Although his voice did get pretty raspy towards the end.
Yeah.
Nick Nolte's the voice of the Ugnaught, right? In Mandalorian?
Nick Nolte? Yeah.
Okay, that's who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Once the sexiest man alive, according to people.
And here comes Malcolm. This watch along is like the Food Network, but with movies. That was clever. We should get that on a shirt, actually. What do you think, Evan?
How'd that even work? Like, we'll do a Food Network logo, but instead of like it saying Food
No, you,
Network,
like,
it
put-
says with movies.
It would just be like our logo, but the quote is a Chris Clark quote on the shirt.
Oh my god!
No, it would just be food. It would be the Food Network logo, but instead of food, it would just say fists. So it would be the Fist Network.
Fists.
Wow.
No, but the
Wow.
new while you were gone, Brooklyn, Malcolm put in the chat. This watch along is like the Food Network, but with movies.
Listen, we don't need to put the Food Network through the gutter anytime soon. They are a great channel, great programs. Iron Chef America, easily the best reality competition out there. But no, we're just gonna move past. We're gonna move past it. We're gonna enjoy a great movie.
Oh my.
Oh my god, that's such an Evan quote. I didn't say it was a smart thing, but it's the right thing. It's the most Evan thing in the world.
Yeah, it really is. I always thought this was the coolest thing. Again, it really speaks to the nature of the pulpy serial of this, but just the kind of steampunk tech of it all, and it's just so big and exciting. I just really gel with it.
I forget if it was this movie or Treasure Planet, but it was in like General Mills cereals. They were giving away like random PC games, and it was like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I think it was like Timon and Pumbaa's. It was like pinball, or like there's a series of mini games. But then there was also it's like this one in Treasure Planet, and I remember it actually being like pretty good.
Yeah, I remember that. I completely remember that.
Mm-hmm. They don't do that anymore because of I don't know why.
They can't trust the children not to eat the CDs.
I mean, have you seen what they've done with Tide Pods?
What's the Tide? Oh, you're talking about the little pods of Tide? Oh yeah.
You know, the Gushers.
Presented on the Food Network.
This shot of him, that was very Thanos-like.
Oh yeah, he looks like Thanos right here. Yeah.
That I just noticed the way that it looked was just so interesting. I love the mix of hand-drawn animation with the CG in this one.
This is so steampunk.
I know.
It's a giant oven mitt.
I think this is where my love for steampunk really came from. Was this. Because I feel like this movie had just such a massive impact on me. Oh, man.
You know, if you squint your eyes enough, that kind of looks like a fist.
It does.
That was a good callback.
Hey, we've got company. It's like an aerial dogfight.
I know.
It's amazing.
And the way that the animation just feels so smooth and so thrilling, it really gets a great action adventure vibe that I feel like not every animated movie that tries to be this way has gotten down. Like, it's just so thrilling, and it really does get that Indiana Jones throwback feel.
Yeah.
This movie totally fits in with like Indiana Jones and the Rocketeer and the Shadow.
It's very typical, like, family action adventure third act, but it's executing it like pretty flawlessly. Like, really, really cool. Reminds me a lot of like the Battle of New York,
right?
With those bigger alien like ships.
Totally.
Well, Joss Whedon.
It's just so incredible to watch, man.
I was just realizing another live casting choice for O'Rourke that I think would be really interesting. Just Clancy Brown in general.
Oh yeah, in general.
Clancy. I thought Clancy was when I was gonna watch this original, I thought Clancy was the villain. I thought his voice was the villain, and then it was James Gardner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like Clancy Brown.
He has a similar kind of arc in Daredevil season 2 when he
does,
plays
as the general.
The general. Yeah.
He is also probably one of the best voices ever.
Such a dark moment for a movie like this.
And I love that she comes back, though.
Yeah.
Oh, what a villain.
And again, Garner just really sells it. He feels so sleazy and so just evil.
I like how they just didn't even keep on the fact that he just killed her.
Oh.
That is so well animated.
It really is.
Josh Brolin could do that role too.
Ooh, Brolin's a great choice.
Oh no, she's not dead. Never mind.
There's something about the design of her that reminds me so much of Dick Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the mole.
Yeah.
This is
also
intense and violent.
That's a scary fucking shot. Whenever his eyes are Jesus.
I mean, dude's got an axe and everything right there.
This one was bloody violent. Oh my god.
I've never seen the eyes that wide since Sideshow Bob tried
Yeah.
to kill Bart Simpson many times.
I don't.
He has a very gruesome death for a villain.
If you guys like this type of storytelling, there's a great comic out there called Half Past Dead that is very much an ode to this type of storytelling, this pulp narrative adventure that is similar time frame, similar feel, and it also has dinosaurs in one of them. So, you know, definitely worth looking into. And in my perfect world, if I got to do Half Past Dead movie, Matt Ryan, Constantine would have to be in the lead.
There is something Legends of Tomorrow-y about the ensemble in this and the ship.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, too, kind of vibes.
Yeah, definitely. I actually have a big soft spot for that movie. So
I do too. I think that gets a bum rap.
Currently on Hulu.
Is it? I'm gonna have to.
It gets
Well,
a complete bum rap.
It does. I have the Blu-ray. I still pop it in from time to time when I just want to have a good time. You know.
My video is buffering, so I'm just going to go through this blind. There we go.
It's just
Oh man.
with all the fire swirling and the oh wow.
Yeah. Very ahead of its time to me because I don't think, again, there's not a lot of these animated films that actually
Wow.
really did stuff like this. I mean, not then.
Could you
Still not
imagine
now.
if they did the Uncharted movie like this?
This is how it should be done. Mike, I definitely know how much you like Legends.
Yes. Mike is a big fan of the Arrowverse shows.
Nothing wrong with that. I watched him for a long time.
I keep up
You
with
still do.
I keep up with Arrow's finished. I keep up with Legend of Tomorrow, and I want to catch up on Flash.
Legends is the one I still watch because Constantine's in it. Like,
It's
also,
it's an incredibly fun show. It's so clever and a little meta, and I love it.
yeah. And if you guys have not seen season 1 of Constantine, where Matt Ryan got to actually debut the character before being brought into the Arrowverse, check it out. I'm sure it's streaming either Hulu or the Peacock when it starts. You could probably check it out there, but it's really rad.
When is the Peacock launching?
July.
July, yeah.
And it starts with one of my favorite launch titles that I've heard in a long time, Psych 2.
Lassie Comes Home.
Lassie Comes Home. We're big psychos here, so I'm can't wait. Oh yeah, Constantine is on DC Universe. Thank you, Mike.
Cool.
I'm sure it'll be on HBO Max too.
I feel like DC Universe and HBO Max are gonna merge.
I do too.
They should.
Like a DC Universe sub-tab.
I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah.
This scene, man, it is so.
Kind of looks like the
powerful.
Iron Giant a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But
I-
it's. Oh God.
Iron Giant's another Joss Whedon movie.
Josh worked on Iron Giant?
He directed it.
No, it's
Brad Bird.
That's who I meant. Never mind.
Chris Clark.
Of all the
literally-
things.
Doing Brad Bird month. Next week. Starting with what movie? The Iron fucking Giant. And no, you don't get a pass for this. This is my favorite director. You know this.
Man.
God damn it.
Can we move on?
This is
No.
amazing. That bubble reminds me of Black
That's
Panther.
the most important sequence in the movie.
Yeah.
But God damn it.
Yeah.
Mike's right. If they do decide to merge it, it won't be until after the finales of those, so that they would be ported over probably.
Also, remember how we were talking about how Harley Quinn is on Sci-Fi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's who has the rights to the Harry Potter movies right now.
Right.
distribution rights.
The other day.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but Harley Quinn kills off some major characters, and it's insanely funny.
I've heard some really good things about the Harley Quinn animated series.
I just bought the
Oh, it's funny as hell, but they just kill off. Like, wow.
First you call Del Toro Del Taco, now you mix up Brad Bird.
That's why I don't watch alongs.
No, Chris, you need to be on every watch along from now on. I might make that a decree, an executive order as the head of the channel.
Can I have the Brad Bird sandwich at Guillermo del Toro?
Oh man,
Brad Bird sandwich, chicken and salty tears.
Oh man.
It's at least going to be a card on Saturday. So.
And I know that this is a very serious moment.
It is very serious.
The bun for a Brad Bird sandwich is actually it's actually 2 Blu-rays of Tomorrowland. They just have a bunch sitting at Disney head office. Like, what are we gonna do with these? Well, kind of tasty.
I own one.
Yep.
Tomorrowland is nice. It's a nice movie.
That
Disney
shot,
went through
man.
an era. Disney went through an era where you can make a letterbox list saying films where the savior is a white dude and the love interest just happens to be some foreign love interest, and that's their role in the movie. This Hunchback. I'm trying to think of other ones. Those are the first 2 that come to mind.
It's them being diverse. It's mixed martial, mixed
Mixed
racial.
Marshall?
I believe you're looking for the name of an old
No.
ship. Diversity.
No, wait.
What is? Oh, sorry. You need it. You need it in the form of a question. What is diversity?
Chris,
I meant mixed racial, not mixed martial
Chris is swinging for the fucking
interracial.
fences. There's no single in Chris Clark's
man.
world. It's just we're gonna hit one out of the park, or we're just gonna go down swinging.
I need to
My
start saying
friend,
what.
you have whiffed on some fastballs. I will say.
I'm sorry, Brooklyn.
Bro, he even had a sitting curve there, and that man fell over. He spun around 3 times and literally fell.
I do need to think before I speak. That's what problem I have.
please don't.
Shout out to Mixed Marshall.
Man.
Jason Segel played on How I Met Your Mother.
Marshmallow? Lily pad.
But
Think before you speak, Clark, question mark, LOL.
I do like how the colors make everything pop.
I really do too.
Yeah.
It's been 84 years.
No.
They clean up nice.
Flaming Zeppelin.
Pete.
Man, I miss Jim Varney.
Yeah.
I do too.
You should do an Ernest month.
I would be down. I might even throw in the Beverly Hillbillies in there.
When did he meet the Beverly Hillbillies? I never saw that film.
He didn't meet. He played Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies film, my friend.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. One of my earliest movie-going memories was seeing that movie, Beverly Hillbillies.
Ernest Scared Stupid is really, really scary for children. If they turn into trees, it's really creepy.
Brussels sprouts.
The Brussels sprouts, that's what it is.
I really like that movie.
No, it's really cool. It's really dark for kids, surprisingly.
That's pretty edgy.
Brussels sprouts also really tasty.
That's true, especially when you season them nice.
Especially when you add bacon to them.
Well, yeah. A friend and I actually went into a lengthy discussion. It's like, is there any food that you can that would actually not be enhanced by adding bacon? And we determined that there is one thing that cannot be enhanced by adding bacon, and that itself it is foie gras.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Which is the fattened liver of a goose, which is just butter, pretty well.
Is it good on toast?
It is.
It's great on toast.
You can have it seared. You can have it as a pate. More Food
Have
Network.
y'all-
The
dude.
PJ Campbell watch along.
Bro, a chicken liver pate tastes like peanut butter.
Chicken liver pate is the only way you can get me to eat chicken liver.
Look at this shot.
I know. What an ending shot, you guys. It's the scale of it is just incredible.
Yeah.
I would love if they did a double feature of this and Emperor's New Groove, but Emperor's New Groove started on a shot very similar to this because it's like the mountains very similar to like the kingdom and whatnot.
It is. Wow, that's a good comparison.
Incredible.
Emperor's New Groove is a great movie too.
Emperor's New Groove is a really good movie.
Yeah, let's just give that movie a round of applause real quick.
Yeah.
Because, come on.
Having a round of
Come on.
applause.
It's a hell of a film and one that has meant a lot to me for a long time. So we're going to go ahead and go around the room real quick. And I'm going to start with,
Joss Whedon gets a story credit.
yeah.
Yeah, he does.
So the bare bones, at least, it is an Atlantis watch along. So now that we've kind of gone around, I'm going to start with Evan. You've never seen this, so what did you think as we went through?
It's a lot of fun. And it's very similar in the vein of Tintin. Like, you don't explore the characters overtly much because their characters already exist. It's not about the character development. Like I already knew that guy was gonna be the villain, like from the get-go, which isn't a bad thing. I'm here for that. It was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the score and the animation kind of like takes place of everything else, which is fine. I like those kinds of films from time to time. It was a good movie. In my Letterboxd review, because I think everyone should know, Mixed Marshall, co-directed by Brad Bird and Del Taco.
God damn it, Evan.
All right.
All right, so Chris, you grew up with this the same way I did. What was it like revisiting it now? Does it still hold the same magic for you? Like,
I actually rewatched it a couple nights ago, just because I felt like it, not because we were doing it. I just felt like watching it again because, hey, I remember liking it, and I still think to this day it is the best non-musical Disney film. I feel like that to me is what I enjoyed this movie from top to bottom. I'm always in awe watching it. I can't really commentate it because I don't watch it that often. But when I do watch it, it's just a great adventure, and it's all about the ensemble. It's why I think Toy Story 2 and 3 are the best Pixar movies, is because of that ensemble. It's why I was disappointed with Toy Story 4, is because they took out that ensemble. It's the ensemble that makes a movie work for me, and it just elevated it. So it's just a fun movie. And I like all the characters, and the cast is great, even though half of them are dead. So it's a great it's a real weird feeling because it makes you feel old because you remember a time when all those people were alive and seeing this in the theater. So it's just an odd feeling.
okay, I could see that. Very interesting point. And it was kind of weird as we were going through it. I didn't realize just how much of the cast really had passed away already, which is a weird thing to think, but it's just because this movie had been in my life for so long, I got so used to thinking about it. Yeah. Max, you, similar to me, you saw it growing up. What are your thoughts as we came back?
I just think it works like from top to bottom as a adventure film. The animation and score are terrific, and it's just a rousing, beautiful adventure. I think it shows its influences on its sleeve, and then I think there might be some other things that influenced, even though it wasn't as big of a hit as Disney hoped. And I think it's underrated, and I wish more people would give it a shot, because I think it gets overlooked or derided a little bit, because it, like we were talking about, like this was in a period of real transition and confusion, a little bit of an identity crisis for Walt Disney Animation, and I think because of that, people don't watch it. But now it's more accessible on Disney Plus, and everyone should give it a watch ski.
Yeah, I mean, for me, because it always felt like it was bigger in the time just because I watched it all the time, and I feel like it had such a big influence on me. But so whenever I think going back, it was like, no, it really wasn't a big movie. That's part of the reason that show didn't take off. It's part of the, it had so many ramifications because it wasn't the typical Disney movie, so it wasn't sold to audiences in the same way. But if people like things like Indiana Jones and The Rocketeer and things of that nature, they should check this out. And now I'm going over to Brooklyn, who also, with his first time watch tonight, what are your overall thoughts?
I thought this is really good. I think this is actually you can there's a lot in comparison to like Guardians of the Galaxy, I would say, in terms of like stylistically wise. Like this is pretty bold. It's great, sort of greater than the sum of its parts, and it's really like how the group really handles the adventure. And I think upon seeing the film now, I think it was a worthy risk. It sucks that it didn't make enough at the box office, because I think this style really works well. And like you see this and like Treasure Planet being like one of the more heavily requested live action remakes. But no, I was very satisfied.
No,
Right. Really quick, PJ.
okay.
We got a Streamlab in from Michael K saying thank you guys for another highly entertaining watch along. Chris Clark does need to be on every week. That was $20 from Michael K. And for that, I know over there in Renegade Pop Culture, they actually recorded a really special podcast on mental health. And so he put the link in with his Streamlabs. So I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys. It's called Mental Health Checkup Volume 1. Definitely recommend giving it a watch.
And thank you for the Streamlab, of course, as always, Mike. You're the best.
Really appreciate it.
When I think back to this now, I think the thing that this movie did so well was kind of being ahead of its time for what Disney is doing now. And it was very prophetic in a lot of ways of them trying to do different things with the studio on the animation front. So I think that's part of the reason it's aged so well and it influenced so many of us, is because we look back so fondly on it now, because I think there was a bigger influence overall at the studio than it maybe gets credit for. I just think that's really interesting, because to Max's point, it really was kind of a very troubled time over there at the studio. But, we all love it in Atlantis.
So yeah, I think that kind of brings things to a close. The credits are still rolling, I imagine. I close out.
Nope, it just ended.
All right, beautiful. So that means you can start wrapping shit up. Brooklyn, before you go, what is Jam Session? Why should the people watch this show?
Jam Session is a show where I give every guest the same 15 questions: favorite band, favorite artist, album, etc. And then I listen to their lists, and then we go over and talk about it. Chris Clark was on the show that dropped this morning, and we talked about Billy Joel, Meatloaf's Bad Out of Hell 2. We took a really deep dive into, and it's just a really good time. If you want to talk about some music, I've loved the show personally, because I've got to explore a lot of varying genres. But yeah, I would highly recommend giving it a listen.
And then where can the people find you online?
Instagram and Twitter at TheRealBK10, and then also Multibucks Miscellaneous, our pop culture trivia show that airs live every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, we'll see you around. Thank you so much for coming by. Peace. Chris, you need to talk about some of these soundtracks, because it's an interesting one coming up come Wednesday.
Yep, Wednesday, me, Video Drew, Rachel Silvestrini, and Mark Edward Boyk are going to be going through Phantom of the Paradise, which is a very eclectic, obscure musical from 1974 that predates Rocky Horror by a year. It's in the same kind of stylistic vein, but it's not as sexual. But it's very, very weird, and it's very, very eclectic. And the cast of characters on that panel basically says it enough of it. It's a fun musical. Just make sure to check it out. You've probably never seen the musical, but hopefully it makes you check it out. So check it out. It'll premiere stream live 10 p.m. Wednesday. It's going to be fun. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChrisClark8788. Those numbers mean nothing. Bada bing, bada boom.
Chris,
right,
we're
and
glad
also-
you're here, because I think you make everything better, and I really hate to say it, man. I think I'm going to have you back almost every night.
I'm gonna try. I usually keep the behind the scenes. I'm busy editing and busy doing a lot of other stuff, my own life and stuff. So hopefully I can. I love doing these things when I can. So I love you guys. It's great.
We love you too.
Yeah,
Much.
true. But also, Chris, we're doing Cards Against Humanity.
It's
Saturday.
It's going to be PG-13, not PG-13, NC-17.
That is very different, Chris.
It's completely different. Do not have your kids around, because we're going to get raunchy. But honestly, this is literally a family game night with a lot of people in the family, and it's a good panel. It's Max and Liz's first time. It's Evan's third time along with me and Pat, because it's the third part. So I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'll see you in a different light, Chris. Peace.
Yeah.
Max, you got a show that you do. What's that one called again?
It's called Front Center Mezzanine, and it's every other Thursday on the PJ Campbell Network.
Yeah. What's happening next Thursday?
So on June 4th, next Thursday at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, we will be talking with Rob Rakicki, who wrote The Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical, the song Psycho Monster songs, and a bunch of other really cool punk, pop, rock, musical theater music.
Amazing. We love to see it. And with that, I'm going to kick you out of here. Where can the people find you online?
Twitter at Cinemaxwell, Instagram at Cinemaxwell Inc.
All right.
With a
See
C
ya.
incorporated, not ink like K, like a pet or a tattoo.
Okay, cool. We'll see you in the future. Bye, Max.
You got so
All
catty
right.
there at the end. What was with that? You're
I don't know. That was so weird.
You got real catty. I don't understand what the hell you're acting like that for.
But PJ, we recorded the PJ Campbell podcast yesterday. It went live. We were
did.
talking about the Snyder Cut, and some you and Max were going on about some directorial cuts. It was a good podcast. I think
a good podcast, man. I thought we had a really good time. I thought there was a lot of interesting conversation to be had, and I think that we kind of just had a good time, man. It just a lot to talk about.
You know what's funny, and I've already seen people like go in on the fact about, oh, this is setting a bad precedent, whatnot. But I think we all did a pretty good job talking about how it might not be that way, and how we just need to wait and see because it is unprecedented. So like, take its time. So make sure you guys check that out. It was a really good show. And also personally, Famous Last Words tomorrow. Check it out. This is like gonna burst the bubble of the film community. We are bringing new people in because why the hell not? So make sure you guys check it out. It's tomorrow, 10 p.m. EST, 7 PST. If you're not there, you're freaking square.
Absolutely.
And Knives Out. We all should watch Knives Out Friday. It's Ryan Johnson month. It comes to an end. What mystery are we going to solve? I don't know. Not the mystery of Atlantis, that's for sure.
No, that's one way to end this thing. Evan, where can everyone?
You guys can find me there at Evan Degraff Live on Twitter. I tweet things. Today, my tweet of the day was in Harry Potter, the animation of Deathly Hallows Part 1 and the score behind it is absolutely peak cinema. And that is all I'm going to say. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, guys. And of course, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PJ_Campbell. You can kind of find me here every night hanging out with the usual gang of idiots, these people here, and a lot of our friends. We just like hanging out, having a good time with you guys. And thank you again for being here. You're all the best. We will see you on the next one.
I want to be so long. Farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now until we meet again. I said so long. Farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now until we meet again. Oh, it's been great to play and sing together in the box, and now it's time to say goodbye. Ooh, so long, farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye, for now, until we meet again. Goodbye for now, until we meet again.